Shalom, shalom. I would first like to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing the truth, the 100% truth out there on the highways and byways, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning. The Akwati, also I say shalom. It is your brother, Ratzalaka Barbacker, with another lesson through the Spirit. I just wanted to come at y'all with something quick and Lord willing edifying. Concerning what these times are going to look like in the very near future, man. And Lord willing, these things take place this year, right? We're approaching the end of the first quarter of this year, right? Which I've been saying this in my lessons. And the government's been on a shutdown as far as FAA, as far as flights go. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, this war has been going on for 4 weeks, approximately 4 weeks now. They just deploy ICE agents to airports now, right? And you have videos and stuff like that showcasing and showing us that a lockdown will come soon, right? And even if it doesn't come soon, we know that is going to happen, right? It's just prophecy. We know that the first go around, which was 2020, was the test run for what's going to happen in the near future, man. So this isn't, like I always say, man, this isn't anything that we haven't mentioned before. I just want to play these two lessons or these two clips for y'all, you know what I'm saying, just so you all can stay informed on these things. And I was watching a video by the elder Arad Gabar from GMS Alliance, well, my head elder from the St. Louis camp, and he pretty much, his lesson was entitled 2026 Summer is Canceled. Desire to go into a city and will not be able to. And will not be and shall not be able. So that's 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. You know, those scriptures that we've been pulling out. I'm gonna go ahead and play these two clips for y'all real quick.
Listen, energy lockdowns are coming. It's going to be COVID 2.0, but they don't have to force you to do it because no one's going to have any money to go anywhere. You are already seeing signs like United Airlines just cut 5% of their flights. They're already rationing oil in some Southeast Asian countries where, hey, come every other day to get oil. Wait another 4 to 6 weeks from now. If this war continues, it's going to be work from home again. The price of flights is going to double in 2 months. No one's going to be flying anywhere. Hotels are going to crash. All this Airbnb crap. It's all going to crash just like COVID did. And what is the government going to do? They only got one solution. They're going to send out stimmy checks for everyone so they can compensate for the doubling of their grocery prices and oil prices. Now, another thing to put in perspective, in the 1970s oil embargo, the price of oil quadrupled from where it was at, and right now we are destroying each other's energy infrastructure. This isn't an oil embargo they can just lift and then we can increase the capacity. This energy
as this war goes on, man, the price of oil is continuing to go up.
Structure like the LNG in Qatar, they're saying it's going to take 5 years to rebuild that. So it's just not going to be something we can turn on in the middle of the night. So this is going to be the death knell for the middle class. Whoever's left of the middle class is going to be forced out with just insane inflation on food, costs, insurance, everything.
First off, the middle class, there is no more middle class, man. Right? We already know this stuff. We've been talking about this since 2020, even before then, right? The middle class has slowly begun to...
It's not going to be something we can turn on in the middle of the night.
Has slowly begun to perish because the price of goods have continued to go up, right? And it's between the wealthy and the poor. There is no middle class, right? You have to earn over $100,000 well over $100,000 in order to live comfortably in this country at the moment, right? You have people who have to work, or let me think, it's 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So that's the majority, right?
So this is going to be the death knell for the middle class. Whoever's left of the middle class is going to be forced out with just insane inflation on food, costs, insurance, everything going up. And the United States is going to look a lot like Mexico. You're just
Pretty much the poor are gonna drown even more.
going to be either really rich or really poor. And the whole era of this strong, vibrant middle class is going to go bye-bye. So make your moves so you get out of the permanent underclass. And I think one of the best ways to do that is Bitcoin, because you can actually save your wealth in a safe haven asset that's appreciating while everything else is going to be depreciated against Bitcoin. Listen, energy.
And you know that isn't even gonna be an answer very soon, right? Once they implement their own one world currency, they're gonna be able to control your finances and stuff like that, which is gonna go into this shutdown or any whatever, should hit the fan scenario they put in place, right?
COVID is coming, and they won't warn you until it's
I don't really care what your
biggest lockdown since COVID. Too late.
Goodness.
This is not about a virus. This is about
I don't really care what your
biggest lockdown since COVID is coming, and they won't warn you until it's too late. This is not about a virus. This is about an energy shock so severe it will freeze the global economy. As the Middle East war chokes the Strait of Hormuz, crude oil is surging past $175 a barrel, and the dominoes are falling. Let's look at the map. Europe is falling first. The UK and Germany rely heavily on imported gas. Without it, factories are halting operations and rolling blackouts have begun. In Asia, manufacturing giants like Japan and South Korea are entirely dependent on imported fuel. They are actively rationing power and reducing train schedules right now. Even in the US, surging trucking costs mean fertilizer and food prices explode, while gas hits $7 a gallon. The grid is buckling.
So
Soon.
I meant to say this. In addition to that, Trump has also cut off oil supply to Cuba, which also is going to stir up their allies as well, trying to pretty much kill off their energy supply and what's the word I'm looking for? Not data center. It's like I can't think of the word right now.
Governments will use the exact same playbook from 2020. Australia is already
Their grid. There we go.
telling citizens to avoid non-essential journeys. Next comes work from home mandates to save fuel. Then restricted travel. In 2020, they called it a public health measure. In 2026, they will call it an energy conservation mandate. The result is exactly the same. You don't leave your house. The energy lockdown has started.
You gotta realize like how much stuff they were able to do and put in place when people were stuck in their homes, right? And this even will go into martial law as well, because we know that's been implemented and it's only going to increase from there.
How do you trade a restricted economy? You use a barbell strategy. First, you buy the cause, traditional energy. ETFs like XLE will print cash at $175 a barrel. Second, you buy the effect, remote infrastructure. When travel is restricted, cloud computing ETFs like CLOU become the backbone of the isolated economy. The biggest lockdown since COVID is coming.
So we understand, man, that these these higher ups, these elites, they like to create a problem and then bring you a solution. So from this shutdown, a societal collapse, they'll be able to usher in the New World Order, one world government. Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, 14th verse, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Right, we're already seeing, global conflict, countries fighting against countries, kingdoms against kingdoms, right? Wars and rumors of wars. We've been talking about that. You're going to start seeing more civil war. And you're going to start seeing more people over here, man, actually grow up here and come against the government, right? People who are going to start coming against the government, getting that rebellious spirit on them. Because like I said, people are questioning why the U.S. is even in Iran. What is the president doing? He clearly doesn't care about the well-being of his people, because you could spend trillions of dollars or billions of dollars on a war in Western Asia, but you can't supply Americans in this country with basic needs such as healthcare and things of that nature. So then it's going to come a question as to where taxpayers' money is going, why is it being used on these things. People are going to start getting really upset, right? That's just one of the ways that sedition among men could take place. Amongst other things as well, right? It says, "For the sword," Salakia, verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, shall not be able."
I don't really care what your political persuasion is, but you should really call your senator. Because I'll tell you, this is costing the airlines millions of dollars. And just think of, I don't really care what your...
This is from November, but they're still having that same... You can see that in the other Araga Bars video. He played some clips showing that this pretty much like the government shutdown we had last year, or was that last year? This year? Yeah, last year. Going into this year, the government shutdown they had last year, with them not paying those air traffic controllers and stuff like that, people who worked at airports, they're now starting to not show up to work because they've had this dispute going on for a while now. As of mid-March 2026, the government shutdown threat has raised warnings about potential airport closures and impacts on the flying public. In addition to that, these countries over there in the Western Asia region have had to shut their airports down because of threats of airstrikes and stuff like that. Air traffic controllers and TSA employees working without pay have led to a 50% increase in staff call-outs, causing severe delays in cities like Houston, New Orleans, and Atlanta. So these staffing shortages are causing delays in the flights, making it harder for people to travel, which eventually, like he said, is going to lead to no travel. And among that, once people try and drive and stuff like that, or try and go and travel in another way, right, it's just going to be met by checkpoints coming at a certain point in time. Or you're going to try and drive, but you can't go to a city. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right, so all of these things are gonna happen in like a domino effect, man. Which is why we keep on telling you it's gradualism, right? Things go step by step. It's gonna just fall into line. It's just how the Lord planned it out to be. But this is just them trying to heal their deadly wound once again with the MOTB and stuff like that. So I keep on telling y'all, man, we're in the times of Daniel 12, we're in the times of Jeremiah 30, we're in the times of Jeremiah 49, we're in the times of Jeremiah 50, we're in the times of 2nd Ezra, 15, we're in the times of 2nd Ezra 16, we're in the times of Ezekiel 38. We keep on telling you these things because they're relevant and they're true, and they're indeed going to come to pass at the end of the day. Prophecy is going to come to pass, man. The Lord said it was going to happen, so that means it's going to happen. The time of the end, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book, right? And many of them that sleep in the dust, the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame everlasting contempt. And that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever, which is when we're going to get our glory. But we keep on telling you these things because they're going to come to pass, man. Prophecy is inevitable. We were just talking about that at camp yesterday. The Lord declared the end from the beginning. So these things are sure to come to pass. Second Ezra 16 and 17, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? That famine is going to be caused by the price of goods going up, man. The fact that oil is going up at the rate that it is going to play a major factor and a major role in the price of goods going up, man, because oil is the number one energy source. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come, right? Because best believe, man, these leaders are going to keep on going and going. They're not going to stop, right? The way that things are looking, man, with Trump and with Netanyahu, they're not going to stop anytime soon. He's going to run this place into the ground. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. So the Lord is going to continue to send plagues upon this place. And y'all are going to see very soon that the men of the great millstone and brothers that are like-minded were telling the truth the whole time. So Lord willing, that lesson will try to find those out there listening and watching. I want to close it off there. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone once again, who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And as always, we're one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel. Shalom.